No, I'm not watching the chat. I'm driving around. Like that. Okay. Perfect. Thanks, Alex. Thank
Right,
you very
you
much.
can hear us both now,
Okay.
yeah?
All right. So to repeat what I was just saying. Sweet. Wow, we have a stream going.
Yay!
Holy shit.
Excellent.
All right. I cut Alan off sort of for a moment because I want to hit the initial point of what is this all about? It's not about KV prices, guys. It's absolutely not about KV prices. Let's face it, anybody who mods loves cheap KV prices, and without trying to be PR friendly whatsoever, every single KV seller out there wants more money, more profit. If you didn't want profit, you wouldn't sell KVs. I don't know a single motherfucker out there that sells KVs for fun. The only reason prices are so fucking low right now is because of everything's going on with the KV dealers and the pricing disagreement. What I was saying a minute ago when no one was listening was you have a hobby that costs money, and not everyone necessarily has to charge in order to afford to continue modding. However, quite a few do. And for some of us, selling a cash drop, selling a recovery, selling a pre-modded account, those are all how they pay for their KVs. It's how they pay for their server time. So when you have, again, the root of the issue is charging for mods ultimately, because it all plays in with KV prices as well. If you have everyone charging 99 cents, say, for a recovery, you have the expectation that you're... How did I fail that stunt jump? What the fuck? That's unbelievable. Okay, anyways, when you have the community of non-modders running into modders left and right, 99-cent cash drop, 99-cent recovery, shit like that, there is an expectation. And then when another modder comes along and says, yeah, recovery is $25, they're like, oh, fuck you. I'll get it from someone else for cheaper. All right, when that's the expectation that the non-modding community has, it makes it extremely hard for people that do charge still a reasonable but higher price to make any money. And then they're not able to buy KVs. They're not able to buy server time, all the rest. What did I charge you for your recovery, Alan?
I think when my first ever recovery was $20, mate.
I think I was going to charge you 25, correct?
Yeah, somewhere around there. It's $25, and that was kind of the going price at the time, you know.
Yeah, that was the going price. I paid $50 for my first cash drop ever.
Yeah.
Suffered Cray was my first modder I ever met. I thought I was like trying to get in with him was like, it felt like selling drugs all over again. I was like, oh, okay. I gotta be cool here. I'm not gonna ask too many questions. He didn't talk very much, dude. Like someone else spoke for him on the mic. He was really elusive, and he charged $1 a million for his cash drop. $1 a million. You guys would scream fucking scammer right now. I was happy as a lark. As a matter of fact, I bought $20 million from him, and then halfway through the cash drop, sent him a message on Xbox and said, "Keep going. I just sent you another $30 in PayPal." My first pre-modded account, it had like $800 million in it, 3 garages full of chrome adders. I paid $80 for that.
Damn.
I was a happy fucking camper. That was perfectly fine. What it gets down to is, hold on, let me get Alan back on here. Alan, you dropped. You there?
Yeah, I'm in, mate.
Okay, sorry about that. All right. The whole pricing structure has changed tremendously all across the board. So I'm not saying you have to charge 25 for recoveries, but the fact is, if people are charging $1 for recovery, left and right, then they're not going to be able to afford to buy KVs in stealth time. Now, if we're selling KVs for a ridiculously cheap price, it's going to lower the value, the intrinsic value of everything you do on the console. It's going to lower your value of your time, everything. $1 KV, are you really going to feel that it's necessary to make the most that you can out of modding? No, it doesn't really matter anymore. When it's cheap, it's not appreciated near as much. That's just how human beings are. And what we've seen as the KV prices have dropped is a skewed KV economy where supply will always continue to go down, whether we're out or not. I'm not going to argue that point. I'm simply saying supply goes down, demand goes up. More KVs you can get. And if you can't make money modding, if you can't make money selling KVs as a legit seller, it just opens door for more scamming, less legit sellers out there, and more people just kind of pretty much giving up on the whole thing.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what we're starting to see. You have anything to add on that?
No, you're basically exactly what you're saying there is all the time that it's cheap, free, and people can't make money, then they're more inclined to scam, and that is exactly what we're seeing at the moment. It's ridiculous, the amount of posts you see on a daily basis where people are getting scammed just because people are offering it cheaper, stuff like that. It's crazy.
Are you looking to make more money per KV from your side of the fence?
No,
you're saying for KV prices to go up.
Yeah, what I'm saying is basically KV prices have gone. They've been driven down. They haven't gone down. They've been driven down over the course of probably the last 6 months drastically. I don't need to get into details why I've had to lower my prices to compete. And people want me to stay within the KV selling. I don't personally care either way whether I do or don't, and that's why I brought it to the table that if we can fix this, if we can fix the scene, if we can raise prices, get everyone on board, I'm quite happy to completely drop out the KV scene altogether, and leave it to everyone else. I don't need the money. I don't care about it. I don't have the time. I don't have the patience, to be honest with you. I have a lot of purge customers to deal with and support. But something's got to change, and I can't back out when I know it's this bad, rightly or wrongly. I just kind of feel it's partly my duty to try and help and fix it. Maybe I shouldn't care, but I do. But for me, the money I'm not interested in, mate. I'm quite happy to quit it all once we've achieved what we need to achieve and brought it all back to where we were a year ago.
What was Naomi's question that she posed here a couple of minutes ago?
Naomi, she said that it was me that drove prices down. The only time I drove prices down was a few weeks ago to make everyone listen, to make the big sellers listen. And see if we could come together, and it worked. It brought everyone together. But I wasn't the one that drove the prices down over the course of the last 6 months. I'm not going to name shout. I'm not going to call people on it. But there were certain people that forced the prices down over the last 6 months, and everyone had to follow suit. But yes, in the last couple of weeks, I did drop prices drastically to make people listen. To see if I could bring everyone together to try and fix this issue. And I did think it was working, to be honest with you, until yesterday, where a few people that had given their words broke their words, hence why today has all happened. But I also want to say is that apart from a couple of loyal customers, I ceased all KV sales today and didn't advertise at all. I dropped my comments this morning. Obviously, we spoke. I gave everyone an opportunity to really get together and talk about it again and see if we can come to some sort of conclusion. But the KV price is the root of the problem. Since that was driven down, it's changed things so much. We see. I've got nothing against kids modding, but when things just become too affordable that everyone can do it and everything's flooded, it comes to a breaking point at some point when it's no longer viable to actually do it, and the phone goes out of it. At least people want to do is cover their costs, because not everyone can afford to do it. And I know a lot of people out there say, oh well, if you can't afford it, you shouldn't fucking do it. It's not the point. People want to do it, and they should be able to earn the money because it's that line of business, So when people can't actually make money, I've got modders saying to me, oh, I've made like $5 in the last month because just no one will buy anymore. and they take breaks for a couple of weeks because they can't afford KVs. I get at least 10 people a day beg for free KV.
Yeah.
You know, I get half a dozen messages a day asking for
Max
free mods. It's just it's a ridiculous
Speaking about that,
stage.
Max wants to know why you and James, I'm assuming that's James FX Mods, are the rudest.
No, I think
or
it's probably
who is he talking about?
who you talking
I don't
about.
know. He said, "Wow, chat's going fast. Where the heck is it?"
Yeah, I know. I can't see it even.
Maybe it got deleted. I'm not sure, but he said that you and someone else were the rudest people in the scene, and wanted to know why.
Okay, it's simple. I'm the nicest guy in the world until you get on the wrong side of me. If you're rude to me, I'll be rude back. You know, I can show you dozens of examples exactly why that happens. I don't know many people that do more for the modding scene than I do. But when you get people hound and spam you, and then they're rude because you can't help them and try and drop everything when you're doing a 12-hour shift at work, that's when I'm rude. It's rare that I'm rude to someone unless I'm having an extremely bad day, and I think everyone is guilty of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I am. I'm a complete asshole if you don't treat me with a little bit of respect. And the only reason I demand respect is because my time is worthwhile to me. I have a lot of shit to do in a day, and if you just assume that my time isn't worth anything, it's going to be no different than the real world. You treat me like that in the real world, I'll be an asshole to you as well. It has nothing to do with this who you are. For every person that thinks I'm an asshole, you're an asshole. There's 20, 30, 40, 50 people, apart from them, that will swear up and down that we're the nicest people out there. And it really gets down to how do you treat other people, and that's just a fucking golden rule. So follow that, then it's fine.
Treat how you want to be treated at the end of the day, you know. And for the people there that say I've blocked them for no reason, you've possibly called me in the middle of the night or while I'm at work, and pretty much everyone's aware I don't take calls ever. I have a family, I have a business to run. You know, and if I get called at 4 o'clock in the morning, which has probably happened a couple hundred times, you get blocked.
Exactly. Now back to the KVs. Seth is over here. I am going to bring Seth into the call. If you are okay with that, Alan?
Yep, cool, mate. Cool. Seth knows I've got no issue with him. You know, we had a little bit of a fallout yesterday, but it's a love-hate thing. We both love each other, really, so it's good with me, man.
Here we go. Let me get him added here 1 second. Actually, Seth, go ahead and just call me on Skype. Let me send him a Skype call here. Alright, I'll wait for his call. When I started modding, I think the price I typically paid was between $11 and $13 an hour. And that was during the Armageddon of modding. I remember I would usually go through 3 KVs in a day just trying to get online. And I did not complain about it because I was thankful that I was modding. And I was making decent money at the time, but modding was coming out of my pocket, my own pocket. I wasn't financially, at that point in life, I wasn't financially in the mood to pay $13 a month per KV. A lot of modders I knew went through $500 just that 1 month, just trying to mod. But I just got creative with how I did cash drops and recoveries and crew cash drops and pre-modded accounts and things like that. And I made the money back. I actually made that money, that same amount, instead of actually spending every fucking dollar of it. So KV prices, ultimately, I don't care what people charge for them because I'm not going to profit anything from it. I'm not in that scene. Allan's already said he'll step out afterwards if that's what everyone wants, because it doesn't matter to him either. I've known Allan since before he was modding. He doesn't need to sell KVs to pay his bills. At the same time, I have had to talk Allan into staying in this modding market, this whole community, more than one time, just because of the frustration that he and I experience on a daily basis, dealing with every fucking skid out there. And it is worse than it used to be. The KV prices is one thing that's contributed to it, because modding is no longer an elite, something that is appreciated, I guess. It's something that anyone and their mother can do, and half the people I sell the purge to don't even know how to fucking unrar a file before they put it on their hard drive. I'm dead serious.
Absolutely. I've actually got a Dropbox link to WinRAR now on hand.
Mick Coop, I'm 100% in it on the money. Absolutely, because I have bills to pay. I get up in the morning or in the evening, depending on where my schedule happens to be. I sit down at the fucking computer, and what do? I code for the purge, for an update for a menu that you're not paying for a year and a half later. So if I cannot pay the bills, then you're not going to have the purge. End of story. Yes, I'm in it for the money. At the same time, do I make it worth it? Do I make it worth it? Absolutely. Absolutely. 110%. And if you don't think I do, then just don't mod with the purge anymore. I don't really fucking care. At all.
Yeah, true. At the end of the day, costs have got to be covered. Someone's got to pay for it. Someone's got to pay for the time, the setup, to do it. And it's not, actually, I've been on Skype to you early hours of the morning, 6 hours at a time, and you're coding solid and working solid. Everyone knows you hardly sleep, and you work on it 7 days a week. It is your job for everyone to use,
I'm working full time on it on $60 per sale, lifetime sales. So if
with a team to pay, all running costs,
server costs, and team and everything. So if anyone accuses me of being for the money, I'll completely agree with it. Absolutely, because if I didn't make money, I wouldn't be doing this 7 days a week. It'd be a fucking private menu, and I'd be the only one using it.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. But I constantly tell people I'm not in this for money. I don't take any money anywhere for anything I do in the modding community, as you know. The KVs I sell, most of my profits have always gone into my setup to make support for everyone a lot easier. You know what a task it is to look after 2,600 odd modders, with all the new ones coming through. And it's not just the purge modders. The amount of requests I get for support and help from new modders and everyone else is crazy. So yeah, most of my money gets reinvested back into my setup, and everyone's seen my setup, obviously. That's always an ongoing thing, just to make life easier. And yes, I do treat myself now and then from the profits from KVs, but it certainly isn't a lifeline for me. Never has been, never will be, and nor is the modding community. I do this for the love of it. Although lately I'm really falling out of love with it, as you know. We've had many conversations about it, but people need to be aware. I don't charge for shit, I don't think people appreciate that sometimes. That's what gets frustrating, when I'm working away, I'm knocking down walls and God knows what else, and I get people spamming me to ask me to help them, and I say, sorry, I can't do it at the moment, I'm at work. And they turn around and say, you're shit support then, you shouldn't be doing it. Yeah, I'm going to be rude, I'm going to lose my temper. And people see the horrible side of me at that point.
Mick, there's not going to be people that charge a lot less all the time if everyone is buying at approximately the same rate, which is going to happen if you're buying from a legit supplier and selling at a similar price point. We're not here to say we're going to run the modding community. This is what the set KV prices are going to be. Fact is, they used to be $12 across the board because you only had a few suppliers that people knew about that were able to supply them, and selling KVs was done for profit. I remember when the cheaper suppliers started coming in at cheaper price points, and people started selling KVs at pennies for the dollar, and every single one of them that I know about, their suppliers ultimately it came out that they were doing shared KVs. A lot of suppliers that do much cheaper than the others getting shared KVs is a major issue. So if you're not the supplier, if you don't know them personally, and you're getting it for 10 cents a KV, what the fuck ever, then you might need to be looking at your supplier and seeing, really, is this 100% legit? If
Yeah, see, for me, I've stayed with my same supplier from day one. As you know, he doesn't charge as cheap as other suppliers out there, but I know it's quality all the time, and I'm prepared to pay the price. And that's the thing, you know. I'm not saying other KVs out there are not quality. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to slate anyone else's KVs out there, not at all. But at the end of the day, if you want something and you want something and you know it's going to be right, you'll pay for it. And I think that's been lost in the modding community now, because everyone will just jump to the cheapest person.
If you have a community with 5 to 10 sellers, and realize the modding community is big, it's huge. It's not just tied to Facebook. I think sometimes it's easy for us to get for the misconception, for us to have the misconception that this is a modding community here on Facebook. It's not. The community on Skype that doesn't even touch Facebook is very possibly much larger. The AIM community isn't quite as large, but it used to be huge, and it still is large.
Yeah.
You've got the community of people on just forums, 7sins and the like, and it's huge as well. Hold on a second. This is Seth, so let me bring him in. Hey Seth, how's it going, man? Alright, let me pull in Allan, 1 second.
Okay.
Alright, I am...
that are often cheap,
I'm going to pull you in.
Yeah, I agree with you. Unshared KVs are all the same.
Allan,
But
1 second, I'm going to pull you into the call with Seth.
Okay, bud.
Okay, 1 second.
Get set up.
Oh, good. Thought you didn't want to talk. Yeah, there we go.
No, it's trying to get a charger going, and my buddy's going deer.
Okay.
So. I've had like an hour and a half of sleep last 2 days, and it's kicking me.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I really do. Okay, Allan, you there?
Yo. Hang on, let me shut my other one down. Yep, I'm here.
Yep.
You hear me,
You're
mate?
fine. All right,
Good luck.
Seth, Allan,
Yo,
how are
you all right, Seth?
both of you?
How you doing, Seth? You alright, mate?
Doing good. Seth, how much of the stream have you heard? Because I think I sent you the link just like 10 minutes ago.
Not a lot. We was back road and trying to kill deer, and I was trying to get back as fast as possible. But I'm here now, and I've heard a little bit about it. I've heard how you talk about the price of modding. You know, I don't sell mods, but you lay it down pretty well about how one person charges $1 for a recovery. It's going to make everybody, all the buyers, think that $5 or 10 or 20 or 25 is way too much, when it's just really not, because they don't understand the cost of having to mod. Like, if you want a good server and a good console and a good supplier for KVs, you're going to pay for all that. You're going to pay for Ninja, and you're going to pay Tony or Kyle or Lewis or a bunch of different people for an expensive console. You're going to have $500 in it just off the bat on some KVs, a console, and a server. And kids want free mods. It's just, and $1 mods, it's just not, it's not viable. It doesn't make any sense.
I agree.
To me.
But I had a couple
absolutely.
of team members when the Purge was very young still. We're talking early 2.0 days. And I had conversations with each of them, because I remember one of them was causing... it was basically group admins were coming to me, and they were saying, your seller is going to have to be banned from our group, and we love the Purge, and we hate to do it, but the fact is that they're undercutting every other seller out there, every other modder, and they're coming in, and on eBay you call them bidding sharks, and the motherfucker comes in at the last fucking second, swoops out from under your feet, and you wonder what the hell happened to that shit you're gonna buy. All right, it's the same deal out here. Someone posts in the group and says, I want a recovery who's legit and who can do it, and people are saying, I got you $20. Someone else goes, I do $18 recoveries. Someone else goes, I do $25 recoveries. However, I include a garage full of custom 3D paints that you won't get anywhere else. And the person's like, well, you know what? It's worth paying 25 instead of 20 because I've seen those 3D paints. I really want to do it. And then they're about to go with that person. Someone else goes, hey, I can do the same 3D paints. I got the purge also, and I'll just charge you $2 for it because I don't mod for the money. All right, so if you don't mod for the fucking money, why are you fucking here taking $2 at all? Why does it matter to you that you're going to steal someone else's potential profit so that you can mod that person's recovery? If you don't mod for the money, go to a fucking fun lobby and get your business there. Don't come to the fucking group and steal it, because these people actually are trying to make an honest earning through their hobby so they can pay for their fucking habit.
There's actually groups that are made for people that want to do free mods and free stuff, you know. And if that's what you're about, then go join that group and stick to that.
That's why I told Al. Yeah,
don't
that's
bring
why I
your
told Aaron Wilby. Because he was asking me, am I going to get a lot of hate if I create a group about free modding? I said, if you're going to go create a group about free modding and then try to advertise it on paid modding locations and where other people are trying to make an earning and say, hey, well, you can get it for free here at my group, yeah, you'll get hate. Absolutely. I said, don't use Facebook to market yourself, because what do you have to market? If it's something you're doing for free, you don't need to market at all. Make it your fan club and get your followers and your friends and your group members just through modding online and meeting people. There's a place for that. I'm all down for it. I do fun lobbies, or I used to do fun lobbies all the time, and that was where I got my business. But when you're dealing with Facebook, you have people that are trying to make an honest living. They're trying to, and I've said this before, I'll say it again, if you're trying to pay your bills by modding, then fucking wake up. This is a real world, man.
Need a job.
You can't make the equivalent to a real job unless you're an exception. There's not a hell of a lot of exceptions. If you want to mod to make money to pay for your modding, that's how it should be. Ultimately, that's really how it should be, and you're going to appreciate, you're going to enjoy your modding a lot more. But if you are at a group and you're selling your KVs at $7 a piece, which in my opinion personally, I think that's a great price, and you've got someone selling KVs for $7 and someone else selling them for $5, which is significantly cheaper than $7. If I'm the buyer and Allan is selling for $7, actually I'm not going to say that because this sounds biased. If Seth is selling for $7 and the person selling for $5 is some name that I really don't know who it is. Okay, if I don't recognize the name for $5, I'm not even going to waste my time with the $5. I don't care if it's cheaper, because I know for a fact that Seth has a history in the modding community. He has a reputation in the modding community. And when I buy a $7 KV from him, if I quit modding tomorrow and decide to mod again a year from now, if 360 is around, and I go grab my USB drive, which please, goddamn it, store your shit on USBs, not hard drives. But anyways, I grab my USB drive a year from now and stick it in the computer. Guess what? That thing's going to be unbanned. Because Seth has a rep, right? He has people vouching for him. It's not about the vouchers, because I couldn't give two shits about a vouch. All I care about is the fact that his reputation is still standing for him. That's what matters at the end of the day. So fuck the $5 person. All right, Naomi, a couple of the people have said this. How are you going to do if not everyone agrees to the same price, and you're always going to have someone undercutting them, whatever? If you have everyone's cooperation that is well established and reputable in the KV scene and in the modding scene, if they're all working together on that, and you have the suppliers working together, not working together per se, but you have the sellers like Allan and Seth and the suppliers that supply them, and we're all working together as this team. Understandably, you're competing with each other, and I can see why you would want, have sales, mark down prices below other sellers. I understand that. But if you're all still working in a similar price range, then the people that are exorbitantly cheaper anyways, especially if the suppliers are on board, which they already are, if they're going to be selling for that much cheaper and they squeak into a group here or there, either one, the person's not going to be well trusted because our names are the big names out there anyways, or your names are, or number two, if the supply, eventually the supplier is not one of the reputable suppliers, like always, they'll end up getting thrown out on the wayside as soon as shared KVs comes out, becomes an issue. That is going to be ultimately what happens. That's just how it's always been. I don't think it's as much us or not us, because I'm staying out again, but Allan forcing a price on someone else. It's more saying if we fucking work together here, then we can change the economic direction that everything is going. We can create a little bit more of an equilibrium between the supply and demand, and at the same time we can make it actually easier for modders to make money in the real modding world out there than before, simply because the price point is much more appreciated and things aren't taken for granted. Seth, you're going to say something, so go ahead.
Well, first, I completely agree with paying a little bit more for somebody's name. It's like when you go to Walmart, you see great value, and then you see the name brand. You people pay extra for the name. You know that they're legit, and you know that you're not going to get scammed, and you pay extra for that. You don't pay from some kid named I'm the best KV seller, and here they are for $2. More than likely, you're going to get scammed. If you don't, well, then that's cool. But I mean, you pay for somebody's name, and I believe in that 100%. People like Al and Erkin and a lot of other people have worked hard and worked for a long time to get their reputation where it's at, and it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. I mean, to be honest, if I could go back to when I started all this and say, hey, man, trust me, just don't do it. I probably would, but I'm kind of addicted to it now, and it's a hobby of mine after work, and I like doing that. But I didn't start the scene when y'all did. I started the scene, and KVs were like around $15. You can get on Skype and other places like 710. 710 was always the most expensive, and I think they were like 20. But I know I could find them for like $7 here and there on Facebook. But I never, when I started, it was so expensive to mod that I just didn't even want to do it anymore. I already went all out and got an RGH and everything, and got it all going and spent the money. And then I found out that it costs like $10 a day just to run it if you didn't have a good server. And that's when I got into buying these KVs so I could make some profit off of it to pay for my own things, because modding or paying for mods or selling mods, like you said, just didn't work, because there were people that sold for $1 and they kind of ruined it for everybody else. And I can see the KV thing doing the exact same thing. People are ruining it for everybody else. And the thing that we was trying to do with the prices and trying to get them to where they need to be.
What do they need to be right now?
I was all.
What do they need to be? What do they need to be? What should they be? What should a KV sell for right now? And if all was said and done, and all of us were, what price would everyone be happy at? What would you be happy at right now?
I think a good price for everyone and an all-around price would be anywhere from $4.50 to $6, anywhere in there.
Agreed.
That's where I think.
I want everyone in the chat to say ditto if you're applauding that Allan and Seth just agreed on something. Holy fucking shit.
We agree on a lot, Seth, don't we? We love each other, really, man.
Yeah, we agree on a lot. We really do. We just kind of keep the agreeing and PM. So.
Oh, okay, I got you. It hurts your egos to agree publicly.
Yeah, but I hate each other, so.
Hey, I don't care if y'all hate each other. That's cool. I don't mind haters either. It doesn't matter. Techno, I swear, JFX keeps timing you out. I'm going to find who the fuck you are on Purge, and I'm just going to fucking time you on the Purge for a minute. Seriously.
I know, he's a bit of a douche, really, and
well, he said,
there you go.
Stelio, please reply to me, even though I already did. Why is Allan rude to everyone in all caps? By the way, talking to me in all caps is rude to me, so don't fucking piss me off. If Allan don't have time to run the sales or sell KVs, then why do he? Learn fucking English too, you fucking cunt. And Allan is no good to the modding scene. Actually, Allan has taught probably more people how to fucking mod for free than any other single person that I know out here. I've got JFX Mods, Smod, Stuart Smod, myself, Allan, Paul Sodders, By the way, Paul Sodders manages my my page solo. Like, he is pretty much the only person. If you message it, he'll be replying to you. And I don't think anyone out here realizes how much communication just goes into that. There's a lot.
Yeah, I only tend to drop him when there's issues to resolve. He handles all of it.
If you're modding 24 hours and expecting free help, then you're probably living off government funds somewhere, or else you're just using a friend's Wi-Fi or stealing someone else's Wi-Fi, and you live in a fucking cardboard box. Allan actually is responsible, motherfucker. He fucking works and owns his business. He's got a daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is real life shit that goes on here. Modding is, for most people, a hobby, so you can't expect other people to give you all the time and attention in the world. So that's all I'm saying for you. And I'm done there. I had to rant.
No, absolutely. It is a hobby for me, helping people and doing all this stuff. As I've made it so aware so many times, you know, I don't even sell mods. I don't charge for anything.
A lot of the people.
I just do it because I like it. You knew me before the purge, mate, and you knew how much I enjoyed it. You know, the time I invest in making paints for the menu testing and dealing with stuff with you, issues and stuff like that. I love doing it, but I can only do that certain times of the days. And people wonder why I get a little bit stressed when I'm at work, half buried underneath a wall, and won't help them there and then. And that tends to be the only time I'm rude to them.
Exactly, or when they call me.
And it's generally because they've been rude. It's just generally because they've been rude to me in the first place, you know, and shown disrespect after I've told them, chill, I can't do it now.
Seth, how do you block people like Allan does if they call you in the middle of the night?
If they call me in the middle of the night, no, because my phone is usually on silent. But if they ask me, hey, will you mod me for $1, or will you mod me for this Xbox Live code, I block them, because I don't know how many people I've told that, man, I don't mod for you at all. I don't even mod for myself, really. So I'm not going to do it.
Now, from my point of view, people say to me, why don't you mute your phone? I've got children.
Yeah.
Most people are aware I'm not with my partner anymore. My kids don't live with me. They come over 3 nights a week. So I make time for them as well, which people, yet again, don't appreciate. And my phone needs to be on at night in case there's ever an issue. That's why I don't silence my phone.
Naomi says, I agree with what Carl said. If we raise our prices, it's all good until the select few take advantage of it by selling cheap, swooping in, taking all the customers. Naomi.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that is exactly what happened when we thought everyone was
I had
on board.
a conversation with Shane earlier today, this morning. Excuse me. Dr. Pepper is the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah, saying that, mate, do you mind if I get myself cold beer? Because it's
no drinking on the job, man.
Hang on 1 second. I'll be 1 second.
You're so very fine. All right. Naomi, where was I? Shane. I had a conversation with Shane Stanford, one of the original founders of the 21K group. And in our conversation, he told me, and Shane, if you're listening, or if you listen afterwards, hopefully I'm not speaking out of turn here, but Shane basically said we tried the whole fixed KV price point in the past, and it did not work. We lost a lot of people in the group. People were leaving. There was a lot of drama going on with it, so we stopped. I understand that. At the same time, of all the Facebook modding groups that are out there, it really gets down to a handful, a fairly manageable group of people that are admins of those groups. And if those people work together on this, then you're not going to have the snipers out there sniping KV sales. Just like I was saying, we have always had people selling 99-cent recoveries from the day modding started. We always have. However, it was kept in check because all the group admins would simply ban the person from the group. End of story. Done. If that is how it's dealt with now. Now, I'm not saying Shane was wrong in his decision to come back to me and say, listen, I can't go with this because last time we tried, this is what happened. I understand. And the fact is, last time Shane tried that with his group, they were the only ones doing that. They didn't have the support of the other groups.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If every single group got together and did the very same thing, then it's going to be successful. No one's going to leave that group for another one. The only way of it happening is if you go start a new group, saying this is for the cheap KVs, right here.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So what? Let them start their new group, or the established ones. If we all make a move at the same time, just like it's a fucking army marching across a bridge. If everyone marches across a bridge in step, the bridge falls down. All right. So if we want to actually make something happen here, then everyone has to work together as far as the groups go, not just the KV sellers, but the groups as well. Now, if Shane were to come back and say, I will give it another shot as long as these groups right here all cooperate and work together, then we can actually start getting somewhere possibly. And if everyone works together on that, the snipers are going to get booted out of the group and they can go sell their shit somewhere else.
I totally agree with you, mate.
There's one other way of looking at that as well, and someone else brought it up, and I'm not sure who it was exactly. I saw it in the comments somewhere, but I think the KV sellers also really need to look at their bulk KV sales and how that's handled. And you need to realize, if I'm selling bulk to someone, one, is this person actually reputable? Are they legit? Or is it just a bulk sale? If you look at like, oh, it's a bulk sale and we make some more money on it, then you're going to end up with a lot of skids KV sellers that are scamming and selling and resharing and all the rest.
Yeah, which me and Seth, we did address that, didn't we, Seth? By restricting people we were going to sell to, and also making sure they abide to selling at the correct prices.
Yeah, or we wouldn't sell to them.
Otherwise, we'd cut them off and wouldn't do
so
it.
if the KV sellers all cooperate on how your bulk sales are managed, if the groups all cooperate about how the standards for KV sales, quite frankly, guys, it's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting about having a KV being sold for $1.85, $2 $2.25, whatever. It pisses me off because I remember having to pay $13 for a KV and appreciating the fuck out of it. With that being said, and without this dragging on all night long, a couple of things that we discussed, and I think personally would work, but it requires action. We have to actually get off the call and say, okay, this is what we're going to do. And then we actually have to follow through with it. And on a sidetrack.
Okay, I'll say now I will halt my plans temporarily, so that we've got time to negotiate and try and work this out, and try and get everyone on board. I'm not sure how we're going to do it because there is a couple of people that are too stubborn and too desperate. George and Callie.
Yep. There's one more.
Callie. Okay.
Who's the other one? Seth?
Ecstatic Mod Shop. He's selling for like $2.20 bulk.
Oh right, the Ecstatic Modz is tied in with Ashley as well.
Does Ashley sell KVs also?
They're both working. I think I think they're both working together. So
Ashley, who else?
But they were selling at $4, but they were. I think initially they agreed to sell at the price that we all said, and then took it on themselves to drop it down to $4 to undercut to get the sales, which is a bit of a desperate move.
Well, I messaged Ecstatic Mod Shop on a different account yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday.
Oh yeah.
He wanted to sell me 100 KVs at like $2.20 or $2.25 a piece or something.
Really? Okay. Okay, yeah. So it's all the time we've got people doing this sort of thing. Then.
But it's mainly Callie and George. I'll give you that. It's mainly
yeah. They just won't budge. I'm not quite sure why.
What do you guys think about a follow-up stream? And we're gonna have Callie and George in it as well.
Definitely.
James, there you go. I just mentioned you. James Van Schuvenbaum, however you say it. It's a.
Big shout out, James.
Van Schuhu.
Schuhaven.
All right. All right. We'll do a follow-up stream later, and I will get James and Callie, Seth and Allan in here. Naomi says that she will unblock you, Allan, if we can all work together like we are right now, which would be beautiful. Now I know that I'm just going to say this because apparently it was a public thing anyway, so I'll say it publicly right now. There's been in the past like a bit of conflict between Naomi and Allan, so I would highly recommend both of you just speak your minds to each other, like have a chat or something, sort your shit out, and
yeah, sure, no worries.
yeah,
You know, I can do that.
If it means dropping a little bit of pride, not accusing anyone of being prideful, but if that's necessary to get along, if you both are okay with the other person being in the same period, then let's do it. If not, stop calling me on Facebook. If you think that they shouldn't be in the scene at all, just say it, and let's just make it, handle it like it should be handled. But otherwise, let's all try to get along right now, because
as far as I'm concerned, I want to work with everyone, regardless of what issues we've had in the past. Just to try and resolve this, sort this, and go forward with it, and try and make things better. The past is the past, as far as I'm concerned. I can, I wouldn't say forgive and forget, but I can move on. And let's just all work together and try and fix this.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to have this wrapped up in the next 10 minutes max. But Seth, you came in the call later. Hey guys, check this out. This is magical. You ready? Look, if you want to go to my YouTube, go youtube.com/Stelio Kontos GTA. See, that's exactly what I did. It's on my plates. Stelio Kontos. Okay, whatever. Never mind. I'm done. All right. Seth, do you have anything you wanted to say? Coming in late to the call, whether you thought it was discussed or not, and now's a great time to say it.
Well, I think y'all got everything on the head pretty much. I don't hate anybody. If I hated anybody, it would be Allan. I tell you right now, I love Allan.
The feeling's mutual, mate. I know we have our funny moments, but as I said to you before, I've never had anything against you. I think you're quite a cool guy, actually. But yeah, we have our moments where we're lovers tiffs, don't we?
And if we all just work together and try to do this, we can accomplish this no problem in no time. It's not that big of a problem. It's just we just need to get the last people on board and see the light, and just make them realise it's going to be better for everyone. I know a lot of people do think, oh, well, if you can't afford a mod, you shouldn't be in it, but it's not the case. Some people want a mod. They like it, they enjoy it, and they should be able to do it regardless.
Right. Exactly. Absolutely.
Yep.
I completely agree. Like I said, when I started modding was such an elite thing, man. It was, at least the way I saw it. The way I saw it, it was. Maybe it wasn't back then, but
it was though, mate. When I first met you, it was rare that you used to sort of bump into many modders. We used to do all the duplication glitches to get the cars we wanted and all the special cars that modders had dropped out there. And then there's YouTubers out there, like Freight Train and everyone else that constantly looked for glitches to do it because it was quite an elite thing.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, speaking of glitches, I've been wanting to do this for a while. Alan, you're still in my session, right? Sweet.
Yeah, man, I think so.
All right. George, are you near your Xbox right now? Did I say George? We were talking about George. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Long day. Seth, my bad. Seth. Everyone does know that that's the same person, right? He's just got two aliases. In case you did not know. Sorry, spill the beans. My bad, Seth. Oops. Are you near your Xbox? You want to jump on a session real quick?
I am actually got my Xbox taken apart. I've got like 10 of them taken apart.
Scammer, you don't have an Xbox. Ha ha. Fuck.
I've got Xbox.
All right. I have. It's best with 3 people, but 2 is fine. Maybe I'll. I'm gonna do a stream for this all for it. It's a money making glitch that I taught myself. Like I learned myself. Some other people may have known about, but I've never met anyone that knew about it other than people I showed. And this was how I made millions of dollars before I was modding. And I will do a stream for that all of its own later. And it's best with 3 people. But I'm not gonna do that right now.
Yeah,
I'll do it later. But it's pretty fucking cool. I thought I'd just chill out with it for a minute. But all right, I'm happy. I'm ready to take these fucking headphones off. I hate using headphones. And
Yeah, same here, mate. I've got a headache now.
For you in the UK, let you get back to your own thing. Alan, thank you for your time. I appreciate you.
No worries. Yeah, cheers for putting this together, Stelio. I appreciate, you know, at the end of the day, I think we all want the same thing, really, or most of us do. And I do appreciate you taking your time to get involved and try and make it happen. And say everyone's got my word. I will cease on the price drop. I'm a man, my word. No one will get a cheap KB from me. And we'll look at it all again in a few days and see where we're going with it.
Seth, any closing remarks?
He nailed it on the head again. I'll hold off on sales until me and everybody else we have a talk and set up on some prices and go from there.
Let's. I would suggest creating a new chat. I don't have to be in it. I'd like to stay out of this altogether. Like I said, I just felt it would be a profitable use of our time for me to host some type of forum between everyone. So I don't need to be in it, but I would suggest creating a new KV chat. And let's say, okay, we're starting from day one. No prejudices, no disagreements, no hating on each other. Last one didn't work. Why did it not work? Now let's get together and drop some of the points that we've gone over. And let's not just leave them in this chat. Let's actually have you guys discuss them as competitors, but as friends like we are right now. We've got people that have...
Yeah, I think ultimately most of us want the same thing. It literally is just convincing the last couple of people that are causing an issue for it to work, to try and somehow get them to agree to it, you know. That's where we're struggling a little bit.
Also, I would suggest bringing in as many influential group admins as you possibly can into that, so they can see the whole discussion and be involved as well. And if anyone does not want to be involved in it, let's just get another conversation going with them and let's find out why. Because once we take care of the why, then the how falls into place. That's all that matters. The why is the only thing that matters. If you're listening to this and you're a group admin and you have concerns about it, PM these guys and let them know. Don't waste my fucking time. I don't care. But PM these guys. All right. And then let's just make something happen. Let's keep this modding community as good a place as possible. Cut back on the scammers. And everyone make some money. Have fun modding. And there be a little bit of competition, but at the same time, everyone's still working together, keeping this a good place to mod, ultimately.
You know, the modding scene is big enough for everyone at the end of the day. So that there is no need for competition as such. You know, I think a few of us do it because we've earned our names and people want us to continue doing it. A few people do it for money source, and I can understand why they'd want more sales. But if we're all the same price, people just got choices and they say, oh, I'm quite happy to step out of the scene once we fix it to allow other people to have the sales. I've got no problems with that whatsoever. But one step at a time, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, we can sort of come to some sort of resolution on the whole thing and see a way forward.
Sounds good. Mad Monkey, what the fuck? Where you been, bitch? Holy shit! Fucking A, dude, you dog. Fucking message me. I probably just never saw your shit. I know. All right, Mad Monkey, big shout out to him. He's been there since like day one. Hit me up on Facebook or Skype or something, bro. Just say Mad Monkey and nothing else, and I'll be able to see it in the list of 500 or whatever that I haven't looked at since I started this call.
I know he's got Facebook, mate, so might tap you up on there. All
right, man. And Puddles, love you, man.
All right.
Peace out, everyone. Have a good one, and
yeah, thanks for everyone for listening, and we appreciate all of you.
Stelio loves everyone. All right, peace.